Hello, it's Natasha. Happy to see you here. So, as you probably know, Pinkfresh Studio have recently released several gorgeous, beautiful background stamps, and I have already made several cards with them that I've shared on my blog. As part of the blog hop, I'll leave the link to the post in the description to this video. So, for example, and the stamps are really high quality and really beautiful designs. For example, these two stamps, they go well together. You can use them on your own, or they go well together. So for this card, for example, I don't know if you can, you can see the gray background. I used these diagonal bars just to create this backdrop for the focal image. And for this card, I use Do What You Love stamp that has all these lovely messages. And again, you can use them on their own. You can pair them with these diagonal bars. You can cut them out and use them as sentiments on your card. So really versatile. Then another stamp set that I really love from this release is Lush Vines, which is beautiful, and I used this on this card. I just hit embossed it in gold and colored it with watercolors, with Pinkfresh Studio watercolors, but it looks beautiful just in gold or stamped in color without any coloring. It's just a beautiful stamp. Then there are these floral images that go in very well in line with the stamps that Pinkfresh Studio have. This is, I think, this can also be used in so many ways, and it's quite neutral. This lovely lemon lush stamp set, you can color it, you can use it just bold, black and white. This is also one of my favorites, diamond tiles, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And you can see a lot of inspiration online already with these stamps. Today, I'm going to play with these two stamp sets, Floral Shadow and Abstract Cube. I've actually used Abstract Cube, which I also really love. I think it gives it has a lot of potential. So I use it on this card. I partially stamped it to create this table for the vase. And I also used Wild Sketches set from Pinkfresh Studio as well. So today I'm going to play with these two stamp sets. And I mean, there recently has been a blog hop, and there was a lot of beautiful inspiration from designers how to use these background stamps. So I want to try something different and something new for me. And I hope this will inspire you. So this year I'm on a self-imposed journey of using what I have and using something that I don't use very often. So I have this jelly plate in my stash. I've had it for quite a while, and I have played a little bit with it, but not nearly enough. So I really want to give it a try, and I want to see how it can work with the background stamps. So jelly plates, if you're not familiar with what it is, it's this soft jelly-like piece of I don't know what it is, something which is used by so many talented people here on YouTube with different kinds of inks, with acrylic paints, with whatnot, really. And if you're interested, you can search for the videos. There are plenty of videos here on YouTube. So a fun thing about jelly plate is that it keeps your ink wet for a long time, and you have a lot of playroom and playtime to play with your inks and stamps and stencils. So I'm going to use Pinkfresh Studio inks. I'm going for this color combo, which is one of my favorites, and well, as you know, I'm not really very good with colors, so I go for safe combinations, especially when I'm trying some new techniques. So I'm going for this color combo. I also need a brayer to mix the colors on the jelly plate. Okay, and so what I want to do, I want to create a few backgrounds, see how it goes, and create a set of cards, very simple cards. So I will use the backgrounds that I've created, and I will use some sentiment stamps. So Pink Fresh Studio have several amazing sets with sentiments. So I think I might go for something bold or something more subtle from my favorite things to say. I haven't decided yet. So first we need to see what we can come up with the jelly plate and inks and stamps. And then we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's jump right in. Okay, so first I'll apply my inks onto my jelly plate. You probably won't be able to see much of the ink, but hopefully it does get transferred onto jelly plate. So I'm using Seaside ink and Sky Blue ink for my blue shades. And I'm using Gathered Twigs, sort of dark chocolatey brown for my brown shade. Okay, so now using my brayer, I will just quickly go through blue to brown. I'm not going to go back, so not to contaminate the colors. So now I'm take the floral shadow stamp, and I just press it on my jelly plate, so the stamp will lift some ink off the jelly plate. And my plan is to use, as you see here, I'm going to use this, but first let's see what we have on the jelly plate. So I take a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cardstock, and I put it on my jelly plate. I just use some scrap paper to sort of press it. Okay. All right. I'm really excited to see what we have here. I will lift it. Okay, that doesn't look very pretty. So you see, I don't have a good mix of color here, right? Okay, so then what we'll do, there is quite a lot of ink left on the brayer, so I'll just try again. Just use this. Oh no. Okay, no, let's try to mix it here. Okay, let's take another piece of cardstock. Okay, and again, let's press it. So this should work as a regular background stamp, right? So, but as the ink has been lifted from the jelly plate, my thought is that it will be softer and it will be not as bold as when we apply ink directly to the stamp. So let's see. Oh, I quite like it. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, this background looks fine, but I still want to try again with the jelly plate because I was not happy the first time it worked. So let's do it again. Okay, I'll wipe my jelly plate and I'll try again. So I'll apply the ink, and you probably can spritz the ink on the jelly plate as well, because you know that Pink Fresh Studio inks are water reactive, and this might create this beautiful watercolory look. Okay, and a little bit of brown. So last time we had this harsh line between brown and blue, right? And this didn't look pretty. Okay, so let's now try to blend it a little bit nice. Okay, so one more time we press our background stamp to the jelly plate. Okay, and we will lift up some of the ink. Yeah, here we have it again. Okay, let's try one more time. And here we go. All right. I hope this works this time. And okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay. Okay, so I still have this harsh line, but I can make it work actually. Okay, it did work, right? It did work. So let's see what we have. We have some ink left on the brayer, so I'm putting it back onto jelly plate, and I'll just lift it up with this with the first background that we made that I'm not happy with, and let's see what we have. So a very, very subtle brownish background, which actually might work for some card. Okay, now let's see what we can make with these backgrounds. Okay, I decided not to bore you with assembling the cards because they're very, very simple. Well, you know, I do quick and easy. So I'll just quickly walk you through the designs I created, and also through the supplies I used. I'll link all the supplies in the description to this video, so don't worry if you miss something. So the first, as I said, we were going to create a set of cards. So the first card is very, very simple. This is the background we created from the jelly plate. And I used a classic edges die to create this shape, and for the sentiment I used With Love sentiment from Scripted Bold Sentiments #1 set, which I absolutely love, and I've used it so many times. I foam mounted all my stamped panels for additional interest because the cards are very simple, and I also used colored cardstock for my card bases. So this is the first card. Oh, look at my fingers. Inky fingers, happy heart. For the second card, I cut the strip of one of the backgrounds that we've created. I used You've Got This set for the sentiment, and I tried to create sort of an ombre look on the word beautiful. So I used 2 inks to ink the word beautiful, Sky Blue and Seaside. It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it's still there, you know. And I also used Pink Fresh Studio Jewels to add a little bit of bling to this simple card, and I really like how it turned out. For my third card, I used, well, of course, I had to use Leafy Branch. If you know me, you know that I absolutely adore this die. So I just cut it out from brown cardstock. And I again used classic edges die to create this shape. And for the sentiment, I used my favorite things to say set. And again, I used Seaside ink to ink the sentiment, but I had just a touch of gathered twigs at the edges of the stamp, so to create additional interest. And for my final card, well, if you remember this subtle brownish background that I've picked up from jelly plate, I just stamped it with abstract cubes in 2 inks, in Seaside and Gathered Twigs, and I cut out these hexagons using basic label frames dies. Added some splatters, and the sentiment is from Scripted Bold Sentiments 2, You Rock. So this creates, I think, quite nice masculine kind of card. So, okay, thank you very much for being patient and for sticking around while I was experimenting, not always successfully, with my jelly plate. It was literally like, I think, the second time I was playing with it. I'm really happy how this set turned out. I really like the color combo. The cards are very simple, very quick and easy to make. So I encourage you to go through your stash, to look for things to use and to play more with background stamps, because there are so many ways to use them: ink blending, heat embossing, coloring, just stamping, or a jelly plate if you have one. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and see you again soon. Bye. So we have some ink left on this background stamp, so let's see what we can do with it. So I spritz it with water a little bit, and I take a piece of watercolor cardstock, and okay, let's give it some time to absorb into the paper. And okay. Oh, that looks pretty, I think. I like the watercolory look. Okay, maybe we can use this background for some card as well. Okay.